So we are back, and I want to say that the squat is moving pretty well. I think my Achilles injury is coming along very nicely. It's still not enough to do any intense activity like sprinting or running or even jiu-jitsu, but I think if I give it another 1 to 2 weeks, it should be fully recovered for me to start training jiu-jitsu again. But in the meantime, you know, um, squat is going good actually. Not really much to say about the squat. Just it's. I think one change that I did make is I'm starting to treat it kind of like the low back in the sense where like it's still sitting high on my traps, but I'm having that hip drive at the bottom. So whereas in the past I would try to be as vertical as possible and have all of my quads try to take the load, this time I'm sort of approaching it like a low bar squat, right? You're just kind of like using your hips to come out from the bottom, which, I think inevitably that's what's going to happen. So you might as well train it. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's the right thinking, but it feels good for me. So I'm just going to kind of keep on going with that. And the other thing that I did notice with my own squat too was I think if I take more time just setting in, like, so let me rephrase or restart that thought. So one of the problems I have is I think that my squat tends to get very I tend to rush it when I get excited instead of letting the weight settle, so getting balance and then squatting it. But just small changes like that. Oh, the other thing I did want to touch point on was like the press. So I guess there's like two variations of the press. So I guess this is like if you guys follow the starting strength, right? There's the press 1.0, which is what I'm doing. Like very strict, no uh, lay back, or you're not really driving the bar up using your hips. And so, you have very minimal torso and you're just taking advantage of the stretch reflex as you come down. So that's, I guess, what you call 1.0 or whatever. Then there's 2.0, which is how it's currently taught in the starting strength book, which is you have a little bit of the hip drive where you're sort of pushing your hip forward, and then as you bring it back, you let the bar rebound and you use that as a stretch reflex. So essentially, you're kind of having a bit of a layback to assist you with that movement. So I don't know. I might give it a shot. I might play around with it on the next overhead session just to see how it goes. But if it doesn't work, then I'll just keep on doing the press as how I've been doing it. Which, I think at 118, it's going pretty well, I would say. It's gonna get harder. I could already feel 118 was pretty up there, so I might stay at 118 again, probably. But yeah, probably 118. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, so warming up to the deadlift. The top set for this is just a one set of five at 265. There's really not much to say. Back when I was more focused on the deadlift, I was able to do it pretty high. So this isn't really a heavyweight for me, but it's relatively heavy than what I've done in currently. So hopefully, I'll get back up to the mid 300s pretty soon again. But other than that, training has been pretty good, guys. So see you guys on Thursday.